All right, guys, welcome to Dropping Dimes. I'm your host, Flav Oriana, brought to you by Four Corner Sports. All right, guys, so yesterday we had a great epic matchup between the LA Clippers and the Brooklyn Nets. This video is to determine who are the Brooklyn Nets at this point because yesterday we had KD, Kyrie, and Harden against who many people, right, feel that if the Lakers can't make the finals, it's going to be the Clippers representing the West. And there are people already speculating that the East is going to get represented by the Brooklyn Nets. So, who are the Brooklyn Nets? Because had a great win over Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. Paul George playing phenomenal. Kawhi Leonard's playing phenomenal. I think those two are having a great resurgence, considering the fact that no Doc Rivers, a new head of the regime is there in Ty Lue. Okay, and they picked up their A game. The game went down to the final seconds with KD, coming in clutch. That amazing pass by James Harden. Excuse that was my dog. That amazing pass by James Harden from the inbound, throwing it all the way down to Uncle Jeff Green. I tweeted it out. I was like, touchdown. What's it called? James Harden to Uncle Jeff Green. And it really came down to in my opinion, I felt like in that game came down to the Brooklyn Nets have 3 superstars. Yes. Well, I could say 2 superstars and somebody that's close to a superstar in Kyrie Irving. Obviously, we can all say that Kevin Durant is a superstar, right? No question about that. This guy's having an MVP type of season. And this guy might win Comeback Player of the Year, considering his tear in his Achilles. Then you have James Harden. James Harden can score with the best of them. Will score you 30 points a game, no problem whatsoever. And he's leading the league in assists with 11.2. Right? He said it in the post-game presser that, hey, it doesn't matter about how much I'm scoring. It's just a matter of winning. Stats don't mean anything. And I'm just rephrasing, I'm iterizing what he ended up saying. And I agree with him. I mean, look, you have Kyrie and Kevin Durant there. James Harden, I think, is the best facilitator out of those 3. And Kyrie has the best, the best dribbles out of anybody in the NBA. I mean, you saw what he ended up doing, that up and under layup. Can't stop that. But then I ask you this question. Do the Brooklyn Nets get up for bigger competition, like the LA Clippers, like possibly the LA Lakers, Denver Nuggets, who else? Maybe Dallas Mavericks to a lesser extent. But then how come they lose to the Washington Wizards? I understand you had Joe Harris inbounding that pass, right? And that led to Russell Westbrook getting the game-winning 3, followed by before that Bradley Beal running up to the 3-point line and chucking up a 3. So I don't know who are the Brooklyn Nets at this point. Brooklyn losing to a bad Washington Wizards team, who obviously is led by Bradley Beal, and Beal, whenever he wakes up, this guy can be dangerous. And Westbrook amped it up because he's known that he was facing Kevin Durant. But can Brooklyn keep this pace up? Can Brooklyn, limit their opponents to 120 points, like what they ended up having to deal with the LA Clippers, or they're going to have their opponents score 140 points? I think Brooklyn has the ability of winning games. They need to give the ball to KD. KD shot the ball 11 for 13. Phenomenal game. Obviously, he's the most efficient scorer that anybody has in the NBA. But who are the Brooklyn Nets? That is the question that I'm going to leave with you guys. Brooklyn, and I'm going to bring to you. I'm going to be on my phone right now to check the schedule. But the Nets have, in the next couple of games, should be winnable games in my opinion. But they're facing the Raptors. Raptors, led by Fred VanVleet yesterday, scored 52. Should they be able to beat the Raptors on Friday? I think so. Then they got the Sixers. It's gonna be a tough one, but I'm still gonna lean with the Nets. They should be able to beat the Pistons. They should be able to beat the Pacers. And then, what's it called? Next Saturday, on February 13th, it's gonna be you're gonna have the Brooklyn Nets at Golden State. That should be something to look out for, considering that Golden State is a whole lot better than when they faced each other in the beginning of the season. You have James Wiseman shooting 40% for the 3-point line. Curry acting bonkers. Draymond, doing what Draymond does. That's something to look out for. But by next Saturday, we should be able to figure out who are the Brooklyn Nets. Until then, guys, I'm your host, Slavo Ariana. Thank you for tuning in on this episode of Dropping Dimes, and I'll see you guys at a later date. Peace, guys.